y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Neverending Story collection starting on August 1st from Femme Fatale Cosmetics. These will restock in both October and December, I believe, but they will be available right now from August 1st all the way through the 5th. So I'll go ahead and link that storefront right down below. These were sent to me for review, and I'll get right into it. So first up is the Southern Oracle, and this polish will retail at $11.50 USD. So this one is described as a pale cold blue with frosty green shimmers and scattered holographic glitters. So this is one of the lightest polishes in the collection, and as that goes, it also maybe requires a few more coats. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's swatched for me today. So here's a look at that first coat of the Southern Oracle. This one is very delicate, very sweet. It is a little bit sheer here, but you do already get a good amount of those shimmers and hollows. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it built up for me with the second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. I am going in for pretty normal coats here, and here not too thick and not too thin, and it did build up pretty well on itself. 2 coats, it does amp up that coverage and makes it a little bit more opaque. I really like the finish here at 2, even though you do still see a lot of V&L. It's just very clean and classy looking. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it applied with this third and final coat. 3 coats is really close to being completely opaque. I feel like if you wanted to go in for that fourth one, you would have full opacity. But here's a quick look at that completed mini at just 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath both my artificial and natural outdoor lighting. So next up is the Childish Empress, and this one will retail at $13 USD. So this one is described as a soft gray that leans rose pink due to the shine, and it's filled with scattered silver holographic glitters and flecks, as well as red to green shifting iridescent glitters. This is one of the forerunners of the collection for me. I was just really in love with this finish. It has one of those that's kind of feels like it's lit from within with all of that red shimmer, plus these flakies. It looks very opalescent on the nails. As that goes, however, it is one of the lighter polishes in this collection, so it's going to need a few more coats to be completely opaque. So there's a look at that first coat. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it applied for me with a second. Again, not too thick or too thin. I didn't have any issues with it running or pooling or gumming up. 2 coats, not there yet, but it does add even more of that gorgeous red shimmer and glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it built up for me with this third and final coat. Here it is nice coverage. It's not completely opaque. I do still have some V&L peeking through, but again, a very classy, clean feel, and that shimmer is going to go a long way into masking any imperfections. I do recommend a quick dry top coat with this one, and it does give you just a tiny bit of texture. So that's my final photo at an angle in indirect natural lighting. So next up is Rockbiter, and this one will retail at $13 USD as well. It's described as a gray cream with purple undertones, black glitters in various sizes, and a turquoise shift. So this is pretty much a corelli finish. It is a little bit more on the sheer side and a very daring color combination. Definitely unique within my collection. So here's a look at this first coat. This one does go on fairly sheer. I did get a good amount of those black glitters. I just had to be a little bit mindful to get them nice and spread out on the nail. And you can see I do have a good amount of visible nail lines. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it built up for me with this second coat. 2 coats is really where you get that corelli type feel. You can see it kind of building up on itself. Because it is so sheer, you're going to get the full payoff of all of the glitters on your nail. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it built up for me with this third and final coat. This is one I may go back in with a 4th coat, or maybe even use an undie for this one, because again, I did still have some V&L, but it's just a really cool color combination. So here's a quick view from a different angle underneath artificial lights, and then this is my final swatch photo at an angle in natural indirect light. So next up is Creature of Darkness, and this one will retail at $13 USD. It is the sole thermal of this collection. So this one is described as a meek berry when warm to a dark berry when cold, thermal with turquoise shine and scattered holographic glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this applied on my nail. As soon as I started putting this polish on my nails, I could tell it was a thermal, just instant shift. Where it gets warmer towards the cuticle, you get more of that turquoise color payoff. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it built up for me with this second coat. So 2 coats makes for pretty much complete coverage, especially if you like going in for thicker coats. If you go super thin, you may need 3 with this one, but the shift was automatic and just really easy to manipulate. So here's a quick view from a different angle underneath my artificial lighting before a glossy top coat, and then this is my final swatch photo at an angle under that same artificial lighting. So next up is Luck Dragon, and I do believe that this is my number one top pick of this collection. So this one is described as a bold ruby red scattered holographic. I have a very big soft spot in my heart for reds, and especially really strong linear holographic reds, and this one completely fits the bill. So here's a look at that first easy coat. I am swatching this without a base coat today, and I did not have any staining, but it is very, very pigmented. So this first coat goes on silky smooth, really easy. It's not completely opaque though, so I'm going to go ahead and let it dry and then show you how it built up for that second coat. So here's a look at my second and final coat for this polish. It did bring it completely opaque with no issues or streaking and just a really strong finish. Again, I do recommend going in with a coat of your favorite glossy top coat to help keep everything nice and shimmery and even out any textures those glitters might make. But here's a quick view from a different angle underneath my artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in direct sunlight where this one pays off the most. So this next polish was another one that was really, really close to being my number one top pick. This is called the Nothing, and it does retail for $11.50 USD. It's described as a subdued dark ruby overlay on a sickly teal base. So this one is beautiful for all my vampy red lovers. It does have a very strong purple feel to it as well as a red. I did have a little bit of flooding there in my cuticle, but I just went in with a cleanup brush and acetone and cleaned it right up with no staining or issues. This is another one that went on super silky smooth, maybe a little bit streaky, but this second coat is going to pretty much even it out. I did still have a little bit of streaking towards the tip. I don't know if it was the brush on this one or the application. I didn't end up drying down with any streakiness, so it does mellow out pretty well on its own. I would really love to see this one with a matte top coat as well. So there's a quick view from a different angle underneath my artificial lighting before a glossy top coat, and then my final swatch photo at an angle in direct sunlight. So next up we have Desert of Shattered Hopes, and this one will retail at $13. So this one's described as a warm terracotta red base with golden green shine and a faint scattered holographic particle. So this one gives me very strong shimmer vibes. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to swatch on my natural nail. One coat went on pretty smooth or really easy. I'd maybe noticed like the barest hint of brush strokes. I think this is one that you're really not going to have to worry about that too much with. One coat was not complete coverage though, so I'm going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it built up for me with that second coat. Two coats did bring this one fairly well opaque. I did still have flashes of VNL at angles, but really not enough to bother going in for that third coat. The shimmer really does help it look more opaque on the nails. So here's a look at that complete mania, just two coats before the glossy underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in indirect natural lighting. It almost gave off a duochrome vibe there. So next up is See Straight Into Your Heart, and this is another that'll retail at $13. So this one is described as a warm purplish berry jelly filled with shifting red shimmers. This one has a really, really gorgeous finish. If you love reds, if you love purples, and if you love a little bit of multi-chrome action, it did shift to green at extreme angles. So here's a look at that first easy coat. This one is a jelly polish, so it is a little bit more sheer on this first coat, but you can already see there's a ton of those glitter fragments in there and pretty much awesome coverage for a jelly. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it built up for me with that second coat. Two coats gives you complete coverage, I'll say. If you want to go in for a third coat, I do believe that's going to deepen up and darken that finish a little bit, but it's really going to be up to the individual preference. I was really happy here with the finish at just two coats. It is very deep and dark and shifty on the nail, very vampy and very fall. So here's a quick look at my final swatch photo at an angle in natural indirect lighting. So last up today I have the two Sphinx, and this one's going to retail at $13 as well. If you are a hollow fan, this is going to be the polish that you want to reach for in this collection. So this one is described as a dark purple base dominated by an olive gold to blue multichrome and scattered holographic flecks and a flake. So you're getting everything here. You're getting shimmer. It does have a purple base. As strong as that olive glow is, it does pull off on the nail very well. This is a very unique color combination, but it works so well together. So this first coat went on nice and smooth, really easy. I think I did end up going for a little bit of a thicker coat there than I meant to, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how it dried and built up with a second coat. So here's a quick look at that. Two coats did bring this one completely opaque with no issues. I do recommend going in with one coat of your favorite glossy top coat to help keep that shimmering all day long. I had glow on this polish indoors, outdoors, and direct sunlight. It didn't matter. It's just beautiful under all of them. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of the Neverending Story collection. Again, these will be available starting on August 1st through the 5th, and they will be back for restock. So snag your favorites now and then let the rest of that collection trickle down to you. So big thank you to Femme Fatale Cosmetics for sending these to me. I do love them. They are one of my top indie brands, so I'm happy to share these with you guys, and I think that this is another off the charts stunning collection. So I will try to get the photos up of these polishes on my blog super soon. Until then, you can also follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.